Witches call it spells. Christians call it prayer. Spiritualists call it manifestation. Atheists call it the placebo effect. Scientists call it quantum physics. Everyone is arguing over its name, but no one is denying its existence. This is a very powerful quote, and I thought it was perfect to start today's episode off. Let's get started. Today on the Becoming Unique podcast, I have such a beautiful soul with us today by the name of Audrey. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
You're welcome. So before we even get this show started, you got to let everyone know who is Audrey.
Okay, I've been called many things. So my name is Audrey. I spell it Audrye. So if you see it spelled that way, that is the correct way to spell it. What am I? To some people, I am the transformational goddess of light. To others, I'm a born mystic intuitive. I am a woman living my life, growing and evolving moment by moment, sometimes much more easily, sometimes with some challenge. To give like labels, because some people want labels. I'm a clairvoyant, I'm a healer, I'm an energy healer. Yes, it exists. I'm an artist. What am I? I'm an author. I have books. I have courses. So I have created courses. I'm leaving something out. I'm a mom.
Yeah.
Grandmother. And I'm now in Costa Rica.
Oh, so beautiful. Okay. So you sound like a very rich woman.
I am wealthy within. I have
Yeah.
gifts and talents and abilities galore. And I, at this point in time, absolutely acknowledge it. And I recommend every person, or whatever you may be, if you're from wherever you may be and you have another designation of what you call yourself, really acknowledge all your gifts and talents. That allows them to grow rather than false modesty. Oh, I can't do anything, which I used to feel. I couldn't do anything. I was like walking this insecure. And yeah, everybody can do something. Everybody can be something, someone, and usually way more than one thing.
Thank you for saying that, because to own your gifts and not be so modest about it, because I am definitely guilty of being one that, being modest many times instead of walking in my power and owning my gifts. And I know I'm not the only one out there. So thank you so much for that reminder.
Welcome. Thank you. And that doesn't mean be arrogant, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Owning one's talents and abilities completely different from arrogance. Arrogance is actually mega insecurity, kind of turned inside out and just sent out there. That's really what it is. Because when somebody really gets part of who we are, and I say part because I don't know all of who I am. I'm still evolving. Okay. That never stops. It doesn't even stop when you leave the earth domain, by the way. So it's a continual thing. So when we get that and we understand that, it becomes, I'm laughing now. So this is like with love, it's a journey. And is it always easy? I have to say, I have not always found it to be easy. Sometimes it can be mega challenging. That doesn't mean that we can't do it. We can and we are. And that means all of us.
Yeah.
All of us.
Exactly. Thank you again for the reminder about that as well too, because I think that's also with me. I like to be like, I'm humble. I don't want to, necessarily. I guess it's trying to find the balance of not being arrogant, but also stepping into your power and really owning it. And I think that's what kind of allows, stops me sometimes, is like, I don't want to be arrogant, but I have to, it's trying to work and find that balance around it and stuff like that. So Thank you. That's so beautiful to just even start the conversation there, because, as people
Thank
are
you.
listening, they can ponder on that too, about, especially, with it being the new year, 2024, and people setting new goals for themselves. And one of their goals may be to try to step more into their power, and also trying to find that balance of not being too cocky, but yet still owning what you are. So that was just such a beautiful reminder that you gave all of us. And I thank you once
Thank
again.
you. Thank
So
you. Thank you.
you're welcome. So, this year, well, I think all years I've just really been holding such a large place for gratitude. So, I just want to ask you, what are you grateful for today?
I'm actually grateful it's not raining, because this is still the rainy season in Costa Rica and it comes down in buckets. I'm grateful that it's beautiful here. I'm grateful that I'm on this podcast. I'm grateful that my daughter and my grandchildren and my family and my friends are well. I am beyond grateful about that. I'm grateful that I'm starting this new journey on podcasts, because I've been around for a bit and there's a lot that is in me to share. I mean, I want it out there, okay?
Mhm.
Because to me, if I know something or think I know something or have felt something and it could benefit people and whatever else we may be becoming, because there's beings from elsewhere that are also on the planet, and I can contribute to that, that delights me, and I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm an artist. Yeah. And
Oh,
this is one of my, can you see it?
I see. I
This
see.
is one of my
Well,
frequency stones.
nice. I see a lot of vibration through a lot of colors. So
Let me
you
put it
paint
back.
stone. So are these stones from the earth?
Yes, they're
So you,
right from the
where are
Costa
they?
Rica.
So they're Costa Rica stones. Are they from the beach? Where are they from? Or from, like, where part of the
They
earth?
can they could be on the road, they could be by the beach, which they're lighter. That one is not, that one's heavy and it's big. When I get a vibe and it's like that one, or it sort of calls me, I pick it up.
Okay, you pick it
So
up and then you paint them through your vibration.
well, I'm an artist. I'm a clairvoyant. And people ask, what does that mean? Who are you? Blah, 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 blah. So I'm a natural born intuitive. So I didn't have to study to be an intuitive. I am an intuitive.
Yeah.
That's why I call myself a natural born mystic intuitive, because there's a way I've always spoken, even little, and thought that I wasn't taught how to say this. It's
Yeah.
just how I am.
Yeah.
And when I get a vibe, I don't have canvases here, so I didn't want to have to buy more things. I came to
Mhm.
Costa Rica to have a more financially feasible life, which,
Mm.
by the way, Costa Rica is expensive. If someone has told you that, it is true. And so I listened to the guidance, and they said paint stones. I thought, okay, that's new. And so I do paint them. I still lift my frequency. I do that for everything. I did it before this podcast. And I pick the colors that, it's not like I plan anything out. I don't know what they're going to look like until they're done. It isn't like I
Yeah.
have it figured out. I do not have it figured out. And then
Yeah.
they kind of complete themselves. And
Mm.
because they're rocks, can't paint it all at one time because they have facets, they have sides.
Yeah.
And I make a mess, and I make a mess anyway. I paint all over the place. I don't wear this, I have other outfits
Yeah.
and things like that. And I bless them and I meditate on them, and they're in the house of this healer here. So they have a lot of healing energy just ensconced in them. And then they get gemstones.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Yay. Oh, I'm so excited to talk to you today. But before we get started with today's topic, would you like to share a breathing meditation or exercise, or I'm not sure what you may call it,
Yes,
with us
yes,
today
yes, yes,
to get
yes, yes,
to get the vibe right?
yes. I do breathing attunements all the time. I even have some on my website, which is Audrey Now. Everything I am is Audrey Now. AudryeNow. That's me, wherever it might be, for the most part. So breathing, just normal breathing, is not just, okay, it's taking in the vibration of the area you are. And when you use your intention to go to a higher realm, you're taking in the vibration of creation. So I'm going to do one that is one of my ultimate favorites. It's called the lifting process. I learned it when I was studying with Patricia Hayes, different from Louise Hayes, Patricia Hayes. And I'm going to describe what we're going to do, and then we're going to do it. If you will, I will guide us. And I usually start at first, if it's okay with everyone. So I'm hoping it's okay, where I'm going to lift my frequency, and then I kind of send healing energy to people and help them open their heart, because not just important, and then direct it. So basically, you don't do anything, you allow. The phrase you'll hear me repeat, and when you do it for yourself, you'll say, I'm getting higher and higher, lighter and lighter, freer and freer. You don't make it happen, you don't force, you do allow, you simply allow. So I'm going to take a moment where I am silent to just lift my frequency, which is better for me not to be talking when I do that. And then I will send energy, help your heart open, and then guide you in that. And when we're done, I will, oh, I didn't bring my ding shot. It's okay, it's over there. And then you will have an opportunity to kind of float around in the energy, and then we can continue, okay?
Okay.
Just sit comfortably, take off your shoes. If you're wearing anything that's tight, loosen it. And that means anything. I mean, if you're out in public, of course, be decent, but loosen anything that might be tight. And now I'm going to take a moment to just get myself where I want to go. Breathe golden light into your heart. Let yourself fill with the golden light. And now gently exhale. Breathe in white, sparkling light throughout your whole being, protecting you and uplifting you. And now let's also breathe in fuchsia light, the light of source, spirit, royalty, blessings, wonder. And as you sit and continue breathing slowly and gently, allow your vibration and you to get higher and higher, lighter and lighter, freer and freer. You're getting higher and higher, lighter and lighter, freer and freer. Allow this. Higher, lighter, freer. Lighter, lighter, higher, freer. Allow yourself to fill with love, with light, prosperity, blessings, wholeness, wellness, wealth, blessings. You're getting higher and higher, lighter and lighter, freer and freer. Now you may stay where you are right now and kind of float in the energy. You may use this energy. This is spirit source, high, holy energy, to send it to any part of your being that might prefer to be feeling better than it might be now. You may send it to somebody with whom you have permission to send healing energy. And you may simply bask in the beauty of this energy as you get higher, lighter, and freer. Higher, lighter, and freer. Now I'm going to be silent for a few moments so you can have this experience for yourself as you choose to have it. And I will bring you out of this. And now again, breathe into your heart, golden light. Let it fill your entire being, your Makaba, all of you. Gently exhale. Again, breathe in beautiful, sparkling white light to your present, your past, your future, the whole gestalt of it. And once more, breathe in fuchsia light, uplifting all of who you are and your life. And if your eyes have been closed, before you open them, gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Gently begin to move your hands on your wrists. Gently begin to move your body. Slowly turn your head gently from side to side. And when you're facing forward, with your head upright, gently on your neck, slowly, slowly begin to open your eyes and notice how you feel. When you are ready to speak, how do you feel?
Calmer. Thank you.
Welcome. This was a relatively few minutes.
Yeah. You know, it's a beautiful reminder that we all have access to this. Like, you know, a lot of times, especially in the age that we live in, it's always go, 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 go. And we're like rushing in the morning because we're on these time constraints and we gotta go, and then and so on. And it's like sometimes we know when we walk out into the world that the world is going to be a hectic place. The work is going to be hectic, and school may be hectic. Wherever you go, your environments may be unpredictable, but you have access to, you know, find the peace within you. And just by this exercise that you did with us, you know, this can allow all of us to find the peace within us before we even leave our home, and to ground ourselves beautifully. So thank you for showing us that, you know, just by taking a few moments, we have access to do this. And you guided us beautifully, but you know, we can guide ourselves as well too, by just understanding that we're going to close our eyes, we're going to get comfortable, and we're just going to take some deep breaths in and out and imagine the golden light and, you know, the violet light. Well, I think you called it, you said
I like fuchsia.
you like fuchsia. I know a lot of people talk about the violet light as well too.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to imagine, but something on a higher vibration. That this is just a beautiful reminder, and this is free. This is, you have access to this. So thank you.
You're welcome. The more you do this, the easier it gets. I kept it short. You can take it to a lot of different areas within yourself. I noticed that once I started doing this, some of the birds outside, I don't know if you could tell, started twittering and singing and all that. So it's like, okay. And then now they stopped. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard my cat in the background. It was like meow, it was making noise. I don't know if it picked up because, you know, the noise cancellation. But yeah, my cat also make a sound as you were doing it, and I thought the same thing. I wonder if he was reacting to your words. Yes. Yeah, and he usually doesn't jump in, and he decided to come.
Look at him.
Yeah, he decided to come. He feels the vibration. So interesting. And he doesn't usually, he's sitting here now. Oh my goodness, this is interesting. So this is, or not interesting, this is just proof that, you know, how animals, you know, they can feel the vibration of the realms. So so this is kind of perfect with talking about our topic today, about being clairvoyant, and that's the topic of today, so we can understand what is a clairvoyant, because you know, I, like I said, well, most of my my podcast listeners know that this is a journey for me, just like it is for all of us. And I'm pretty much coming into this realm of more spirituality and awareness, in my 40s. And I don't think I've heard clairvoyant before being in my 40s. So if I'm the first time hearing about what is a clairvoyant and so on, I know there has to be other people like that as well too. So let's get the 101. Like, what is a clairvoyant?
Okay, there's a lot of ways to describe and define and blah blah what a clairvoyant is, but it's simple is kind of better. Keep it simple, sweetie. Is someone, could be anybody, who can see internally and externally without the physical eyes, either what's going on, what might be happening, what's going on in another realm, what may have happened in the so-called past, any of that. And usually, if they're, how do I want to say this? Many of us, if they're pretty accurate, can I prove it? If you ask me what's my accuracy rate, I can't tell you that. I can tell you I have clients that come back again and again. And if I were off, they wouldn't be returning, and all of that kind of stuff. So those of us that have that label, and there's clairaudient and clairsentient, and there's a few other clairs, that everyone has different ones and in different ways. There are talents that we don't even have words for. I've read people, I had to concoct words to describe what their gifts were because we didn't yet have definitions of what their abilities were. So be aware that many different kinds of abilities are birthing within our species, which is a really good thing. So when you find yourself with any clairvoyant ability, first give thanks. Don't go into panic. Okay. Oh my God. No, breathe, breathe, breathe. It's a natural ability. For those who ask, and I have been asked this, does it come from God? Okay, probably not your definition. Okay, does it come from the source of all of what we are, that we're all a part of? Yes, it does. We're all part of that. And that's what it all comes from. So it's a blessing. And if you're going, like, how did I know I was? Blah, 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 blah. It was people who told me. When I was little, all right, I'm laughing because people think I'm 4'10". So people say you're still little. Okay. But when I was like young, when I was a kid, and I would sense and see things and stuff like that, which was not talked about the way it is now. Okay. I've been here a little longer than you on the earth in this particular body. And people would tell me you're an intuitive, you're psychic, you're a clairvoyant, you're a this, you're a that, because I would just know stuff. I've always had this. And then as I went through the years, I decided I was going to actually study this and learn how to use this because it's a gift. And I'm someone who I have known since I am really young, little, till I could create thoughts in my head that I was on this earth to make it better. I was on this earth. I didn't use this language then. I didn't know this language. I was on the earth to raise the frequency. I was on the earth to help people wake up. Whatever, though, that's part of why I am here. Plus, which to grow myself. And this part, I didn't even know at the beginning. I had to realize this to have a good time. I did not even realize early on that was part of it. I was so serious about what I had to do, and it felt heavy. No, not heavy. For any of us, and I know you're out there because I had this, that we may think we're here to save the world, to save people. Nobody needs saving. They need awakening. Okay?
Like that.
That's what's needed. Okay? It's waking up and realizing what we are. Even physics. I am taking a physics course. It's free. Okay, called resonanceScience.org with this amazing person, Hassim. Well, let me get his name right. Hassim. His last name went out of Harriman. Nassim Harriman. He's brilliant. And he and his team, I'll just make this short, have discovered after many years of experiments and all of the stuff that they do, that the universe is not some cold, distant thing. The universe is alive. It's real. It's metaphysics. All the stuff we say, it's real. We are the universe. It's not out there. This is it. It's in us. It's in you. We are it. Okay. We're not born in sin. We didn't. Okay. That doesn't exist. I know people have been conditioned. So I hope I'm not shocking anyone. Actually, I don't much care if I am, to tell the honest to God truth, because if somebody actually thinks they're born in sin and they're walking around with it, no, you're not. You're not. You're born in love. Whatever may have been going on with the people that did the act that had you get created, you are a soul.
Exactly.
And you are filled with the living light of whatever you want to call creator, creation, the one source, the whatever, which, by the way, is not a he or a she. It's all of it. It's all of it and beyond. I don't even have words, and I've got words to define what all of this is, because it's so beyond whatever language we can say. And I've got 4 books. I've written websites. I've written courses. I've got words. It's beyond words.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And that is what you are made of.
Yeah. I love that you said no one needs saving. They need awakening. That, I feel like that's one of the most powerful things I've heard on this podcast. Yeah, that's really powerful. And I don't think I've ever heard that. You are the first one that has said that, because sometimes people may say things and you've heard it before, but that, I really feel like it's like the first time. People don't need saving, they need awakening. And to know the difference between that, and to know that you are a person that's here to help people, to help awaken people by sharing your gifts of what you have and so on. And we all have these gifts within us. Like, someone listening may be great at just lighting the room up when they walk in the room. And, that's awakening a person when they, when they see them, or they may be great at cooking, and that's awakening a person's soul with the food that they cook. So you don't have to necessarily be a clairvoyant or in the space of being a so-called healer or whatever the case is. You just have to realize, just step into sharing what you have, and that you can go be a part of the collective of sparking the awareness of not saving someone, but awakening them.
I remember a previous apartment back in, where was this? New York. Okay, I am from New York. Okay, I'm born in Brooklyn. Okay, and then I lived in the city for years and then left, and now I'm here in Costa Rica. Anyway, so in one of my apartments, not the prettiest one, but one that needed a little help. And so I had somebody come in to take off the old linoleum on the floor, like yucky, and how many layers, like gross, which is not what I do. Okay, I am not the one you call on for that. So this gentleman was doing it and doing a great job. And then I said, do you realize what you're actually doing? He didn't know who he was talking to yet. And I said, what you are helping to do is release years and years and years of stuck energy and whatever pain and upset and anger and yuck might have been there. You're helping clear that out so we can bring in the light here, and you are doing that. That's how important your work is. So, and that's what he was doing. Okay. And when he finished it all, we actually discovered there was wood. And so he cleaned it, and I had a decent looking floor.
Yes.
Under that, let's just say it was gross, and we'll leave it at that. And he had a whole new perception of his work.
Yeah.
And floated off. Well, I don't know that he floated. Well, floated off to whoever his next client was. So yeah, you can do whatever your gifts are, whatever you're here to do. There's a higher purpose for everything.
Yeah, and it's like a puzzle. Life is like a puzzle. We may not just need one person to be like the awakener. It's all of these pieces that put the puzzle together, and then you look back and say, wow, I needed that piece from this person, and I needed this piece from that person, and this piece from that person. And all of a sudden you realize you are in an awoken part of your life where you may have not been awoken before. And this is so great to just get that. Like I said, that was such a powerful statement. I'm going to say again, no one needs saving, they need awakening. And we can all of us,
Yes.
everyone listening, can do our part in awakening people with what we have to share. And that's what life is about. It's about sharing what we have, our gifts, no matter what they are, no matter how small you may think they are, because the society we live in, it's like, there are like, we're putting different things in different calibers, and it's not like that. Every single piece of that puzzle is important. So it doesn't matter if it's that corner piece or if it's that centerpiece, every piece is equally as important as the other piece. So be mindful to, just like you said at the very beginning about stepping into your power, be mindful of what your power is. No matter how small society has told you it may be, it's not small at all. And it's okay to step into it and know that you're doing your part in the collective of bringing the awakening to all of us. So amazingness. So did you have something else? Did you want to say something else?
Power can be quiet. Power isn't necessarily, it isn't, I'm not saying that you're hanging out and dancing makes some noise, but I'm saying power can be very quiet. Someone who's yelling and screaming all the time, that's not power. That's out of control. That's insecurity. That could be domination. That could be manipulation. Power, it's not power. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, growth doesn't make noise as well too. Like, you plant a seed and, when that seed grows, like, you don't hear it grow. It just, then you look back and it's like, oh, wow, there's a whole plant there, or it's a whole this there. And I didn't even notice it happening. It's just so subtle. It's so gentle and so on. So it's like, remembering that with life as well. Like we may think everything needs to be this big expansive thing, but it's just collectively over time, then we look back and say, wow, I remember when I planted that seed, now I got a whole plant. So it's, but by watering it every day. So just a reminder with ourselves that, put that same energy, plant the seed. You don't have to make a big explosion about what you're doing, and then just water it subtly and just allow it to expand and grow to whatever it needs to grow into. So
talk to it, love on it, give it some sunlight.
Yeah, it just like, the breathing exercise that you gave us at the very beginning, very subtle, very quiet. But just that quiet 3 minutes can change the trajectory of the whole day.
Yeah.
Literally,
it does.
Put you in a whole nother vibration, and then all of a sudden now you're not having road rage, and you're not upset with your coworker, and putting all this extra energy on yourself that at the end really serves no purpose.
Exactly.
No purpose. So
in fact, use it throughout the day. If you have a meeting and you're going, do that. Get yourself centered, then move into it. It'll shift the energy. It really will. And the more you do it, the better. The better you get at it, like the more the energy comes in. It's amazing. And I know because I do it daily.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So, okay. So you gave us, you told us that you're a clairvoyant. You've been a clairvoyant since you were a child. And basically, you have the gift of just understanding and knowing things. And, and like you said, some people may call it a psychic. So I think most of us know what psychics are. Do you consider clairvoyant the same as a psychic, or, what is your definition towards that?
I've been called a whole lot of things, and different people have different words. Different cultures like certain words, don't like other culture words. I remember when I was this was a while ago, when I was at a church up in Harlem, I used the word psychic, and the ladies got all panic stricken and said, no, you're not that. We really like you. Okay. So they asked me what I do. I explained what I did. And they said, no, that's not what you are. You are a seer. So that was their language for this, because they didn't like that other word because of wherever they read, which I'm not going to get into, and they said not that. So what for me personally, and yes, I've had teachers, and I will probably always have some kind of teacher somewhere. If it isn't spirit, it's whomever, and I've taken courses and I offer courses, and all of that. It's just another way of understanding the world. It's another way of opening up our talents and abilities. We are multidimensional. It is easy. I just said that. Multidimension, 6 symbol, however syllables it has. One word, multidimensional. So it's easy to say that, more or less, but to really get that we actually are that, and then when we start getting different responses from the world. I have a friend who, when one of her, she calls it her visitors, come, one of them smokes a cigarette. She can't stand it, or a cigar. She hates that. She doesn't like, I wouldn't like it either. She knows exactly who that person is because that's the way they present themselves. There's no visual. That's how that is. So she asks that person to put it out. She knows they're there. Other people hear things. There's different ways. And we're not talking about people who are having mental issues. We are at a point in our evolution as a species where our different gifts and abilities are opening up. And it's really important that they do so, because I didn't know I was going to say this, but the guides are giving me the word, so here we go, that there are beings from other realms, not just the earth realm, and from different timelines and things like that, some of whom are on the earth now and have been for a while, some of whom are coming in and out. And for us to be able to really communicate with them, it's important for us, meaning us that are human, kind of, to be able to open ourselves so we are able to perceive some of this wonderful, wonderful energy. And by the way, there is nothing to be afraid of from beings from other realms. I'm not saying they're all wonderful. I don't consider every human being to be someone I'd invite into my home. Some of them I would not invite into my home, just so we understand this. And others, it's like, come, okay, and that kind of thing. It's the same. It's the same. And some of them have been part of making us who we are. That's a whole other conversation that we don't have to get into now. And we're at an amazing time. What looks like to a lot of people, everything is falling apart. Well, certain things need to fall apart. They did not work. They were inappropriate. One of my third course is called, what's my third course? Ism Freedom. Be free of the causes and effects of racism, sexism, and other isms. And am I passionate about that? A lot. Okay. We don't need any of that stuff. It's limiting beliefs. It's domination. It's control. It's insecurity. It's all of that. That doesn't help anyone. Yeah. Even those persons who might think it's helping them, it is not. It is actually harming them, because they're using, I'm going to say, a negative energy in the way they're living their life and handling themselves. That doesn't work. It may look like to some people in a moment that it is working, but it isn't. It doesn't. Okay, we are souls. Whatever you can find another word, whatever word you want. We're not just these physical beings, as pretty as some of you. You're beautiful. Okay, we are wonderful, gorgeous, lovely, physical as well as emotional, mental, spiritual, energetic, frequency beings on this earth, going to our next level of beingness. Some of it says we're turning into light. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff I could say about that now. And that is part of what is happening. And if you'd like to be part of it, then it's important to participate. When people ask me, and they have asked me, how do I use this? How do I get more spirit? Meditate. Do these breathing attunements. You don't have to spend 3 hours a day doing it. But you can't say, well, I'll do it once a year. No, it's important. It's like breathing.
Yeah.
Most of us find that breathing regularly is a good idea to keep us alive and well.
Yeah.
So
If we
it's the
didn't do it, we
same,
wouldn't be alive.
you'll be done.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like some kind of meditation. I like breathing attunements, and then I raise high, and then I kind of float and go out there and send energy and do stuff. And you'll find yours. I love to dance. Oh, how I love to dance. And that's also a meditation. It can be when you call on the energy and the music dances you. And you just take your body with you as you go on and do that. And can you do this throughout life? Yes. It doesn't mean you reach a certain number and you're done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Since I've reached those numbers already, and I'm not done, and I don't intend to be done until I leave.
Exactly. I mean, you're saying so many powerful things, and I loved how you said it's the time to let go of these limited beliefs, and you know, and how, you know, before you said that, how you have gotten direction from spirit, that, you know, there are others here, and you know, and then you also said that, so let's let go of those limited beliefs, because things are evolving now, things are changing, and you know, as the human race, or we're spiritual beings in human, you know, in a physical body right now, but to allow us, while we're having this human experience, to have it to the fullest and not be constricted or limited by what society or what the collective has told us to think and do. Just be open to the magic to the magic of everything else around us. So I think that's really key, moving forward into the new age that we're moving forward into, is to let go of limited beliefs. And not just for like, ooh, am I gonna meet an interesting creature or something to that extent, you know, but for you, for the evolution of you, for, you know, the beautiful growth that you will have within yourself as well too. And then who knows what other magic will happen in between, who knows who you may meet in between those lines. But I think a very key thing moving forward for the collective, which you say, is letting go of those limited beliefs. We're done with those days. We're done.
And it's a process. Some people think, oh, I'll just say goodbye. No, because they can get stuck in your cells. They can stuck in your
Yeah.
frequency. That's why I sit cross-legged, and now and then I have to move around. And that's why we have energy healers, okay, to help release that stuff. And if someone wants to know, have I ever consulted healers? Yes. Yes. I mean, I don't want to give a litany of yuck things I've lived through, but I've had yuck things that I've lived through, as have various people. And sometimes I needed help to help release some of the pain and the trauma and the whatnot of all that stuff. And so I found who it was that I found, and did what we did to release it, as well as I did my own energy work. And I can teach people stuff. I mean, that's what I do. And that's what's in my courses. And the first thing when people said, when I was starting to write courses, how many do I have? I think I only have three. But it's enough. 1, 2, yeah, 3. And someone said, what's the first thing a person needs to do as they start their journey of evolution? The very first thing is to love yourself. That is number 1. Because if you don't love yourself, you're going to hit against that constantly. And that's a journey that keeps going. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've been in groups, and I would say, who loves themselves? And then he said, do you love this? And do you love that? And the hands would come down. Okay. Do you love your body? Do you love your thoughts? Do you love what you did yesterday? Blah, 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 blah. So it's a process. You don't have to be some false concept of perfect, because then most of us would be gone. I mean, I'm in my 8th decade. My body does not look how it looked when I was in my 20s. It looks different. Okay. So there's a different way of appreciating and understanding beauty and energy and health. I have excellent health. Okay. And I do. and all that, but it's a lifestyle, and it's doing this energy work because it all comes through me and out. So I benefit from all of it, which is like so cool. Okay, as I give it out. So if you're wondering how to start with loving yourself. And yes, can I help you? I mean, my first course is called Morph into the Magic of Self-Love, Soul, Essence, Self, and Ego, Personality, Self. And if anybody wants any of the work I do, and you mention that I'm on Unique's show, you'll get special consideration, is all I will say about that at this time. And
yeah, I will definitely have your website and details in the show notes so people can just click along to get right to you. But yeah, but keep going. Yes, I mean, I'm loving everything you have to say, and I definitely agree wholeheartedly that self-love is definitely one of the huge components for moving forward in your life and, you know, towards whatever you're looking towards to get to. So self-love is definitely key.
And whatever you've been through, or whatever your ancestors or antecedents or any other kind of genetic thing you might have been through, I call that genetic karmic patterning, GKP, because that stuff kind of gets passed down energetically. Can it be released? Yes, it has to be. I don't want to say have to, because then it's like a should. But you benefit, everyone benefits from releasing any of that constriction, because it doesn't help. It gets in the way. It keeps somebody from being present in the present.
Yeah.
And the present is a present. It's a gift. And so it's important. Do I feel like this every moment? No. Now and then I feel overwhelmed. Now and then I'm like, now and it's like that. And then I remember, I breathe, I get quiet, I do whatever I need to do in that moment. But basically, so people get this is so important. The more you do this kind of work, the more your frequency literally changes. It becomes a norm to be centered. I was not centered. I called myself a very person. I felt very this or very that. I was very this or very that. I'm definitely a very person. I'm not halfway with, I'm like I'm pretty intense with certain things. But then I learned how to be more very centered and in the light. And when that happens, and I can't say, hurry, make it happen. No, it's a process.
Yeah.
Okay. And as it happens for you, and it will, however, a person has to do their part. I would love to just wave a magic wand.
Yeah.
God, I would love that, goddess, to do that, and we'd all be there. It doesn't work like that.
You got to show up for the work.
We are responsible for our own being. And the way I joke with that sort of is, would you want someone, this is an adult show, right? Okay. Would you want someone to have your orgasms? Most people would not. So in that same way, it's important for you, whoever you is, you, to take the steps so you evolve. You can get help, you can get support, you can get hugs, you can get all of that, but you have to do the work.
Exactly. Oh, so much great information. You know, so I have a question, like, so you're a clairvoyant, you see clients. What does a clairvoyance session look like with you? So
okay,
people are curious. They're like, what happens?
Okay, so with me, and now that I'm in Costa Rica, a lot of my clients are still in the States and they don't fly over here for that. So we do it on the phone. I use free conference call because it's free. And I tune in to the person. I lift my frequency. I use the lifting process and a few other things, and I start getting information. And all I need from the person is their full name and their full birthday. And if they don't have, and they want to know about that one and this one and the other one, and I just get shown stuff. So I'll start saying, I see blah, 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 blah. And I'm usually given, I'm sorry, my hair's in a bunch of information, and I'll say it. And then when that piece is completed, I will ask the client, do you understand this? And they usually say yes. Now and then they have questions about it. And then they can ask questions about whatever they want to ask questions. And I will either be shown it, how to explain this? sort of in pictures. Sometimes I get it in words. Sometimes I get it in feelings, and then I have to find the way to language the feeling that I'm getting, because I'm getting the feeling. And I can't just go here, although I'd like to. It doesn't quite yet work like that. And by the time the sessions are usually an hour. People have sometimes wanted longer in that moment, but they're usually about an hour. They are feeling differently than they had at the beginning. Okay. If we did a healing during the session, which I like to save that if I'm going to do that with them for the end, so they can kind of float off, and I'll speak with them the next day, because I don't want to have a discussion while they're in the middle of floating. And yeah, I want them to have that. Okay. And then we'll like have what is it, like the completion part of that, not a long part, but like that. And people grow, they evolve, they release whatever. And one of my teachers had told me, oh my God, this was years ago. She said there was something about the way that I am made, that when people hang out with me, they start to transform. So I thought that was a good thing, until I discovered not everybody wants to transform. So when my clients work with me, they really do start to transform. And they will get more psychic or more clairvoyant. It happens naturally. Okay. Yeah. And the best way, if someone wants to learn how to be a clairvoyant, be more spiritual. I'm not talking religious. I'm making a big distinction here. I am not talking about religion at all. Talking about spiritual, really dealing with the energy, communing with source, however you use your language. Okay. Allow it to happen. Do breathing attunements. Appreciate nature. Oh my God, please appreciate nature. Okay. Where I am in Costa Rica, it is still hot here. So one can walk barefoot. In New York, maybe not so hot. It is what it is now. So allow yourself to give thanks, have appreciation and gratitude for every possible thing you can. The fact that one's breathing, that's a good thing to be grateful for. Yeah. That you have food. And I'm going to say something about food. I'm born under some sign of Cancer. There's no way I can let this just go by. It is totally important to be eating real food. Not this denatured, I'm going to clean up my language here, because I almost use language I'd rather not have on a podcast. Okay. Don't eat that junk. It's garbage. I'm sorry, but it's garbage. Okay. When something is processed, it is not food anymore. It is not. A person is eating empty calories. All it does is put stuff on your body generally you don't want. It can pull out your B vitamins, so whomever it is can feel depressed and overwhelmed and tired, and it does other stuff. Yeah. People say real food is expensive. I know that because I buy stuff. Better to put your money and buy actual stuff, organic if you can find it, okay? And keep it as close to the actuality of what it is. I am mostly raw vegan. I'm not saying you have to be raw vegan, okay? But definitely be eating more plant-based, and at least one day a week. If we want to do something to start stopping this global warming, climate change, whatever language you want to use, if everybody on the earth were vegan, plant-based, whatever you want to call it, some people don't like the V word, okay, plant-based, once a week, and don't double up on animal stuff on any of the other days, the climate change would start shifting back again. Because I'm not going to go into all the science behind it, but for those of you who like sports and who might have Netflix, watch a movie called Game Changer. It's with athletes, big, tall, strong, okay, athletes who began eating plant-based food, which they thought was ridiculous to start with, just dumb. And they discovered they had more energy. They were winning more games. One of their wives, gorgeous woman, was making all the food for them. So they have a recipe book. I'm mostly raw vegan, so this is cooked stuff. And I have a book. And anyway, and so now there's this movie that if you've got Netflix, watch it. Game Changer, or The Game Changer. And no, they don't hire me. They don't even know me. So I'm not getting anything from that. My job, my joy of being here is to share, to help
Yeah.
people evolve and grow. And yes, would I like clients? Yes, I would love clients.
And
That is definite.
I'm glad you spoke about don't eat the junk, be mindful of what you're eating and so on. And also this show has a lot of spirituality to it. And if someone is seeking to, rise their vibration on more of a spiritual way, connect more with source, eating a more whole foods diet will definitely help you get there, because when you're eating the junk, as you call it, or a lot of the processed food, it drains the body down a lot. And and be mindful, everybody's body works a little bit different, but if you are one that is definitely looking to start to move towards spirituality and connecting with source, your diet will help you in that process as well too.
Yeah, it's very important. And
Yeah.
then the guy just give me stuff that, oh, now we have to say this. Okay. So I'm not someone who likes to clean all the time. I'm a Cancerian. Okay. I can't live in a mess because are you? What's your
Yeah.
birthday?
July
Oh, wow.
2nd. July.
Second, I'm the 17th, 7/17.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
haven't seen that
Okay.
date. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So wherever you live or wherever you work or wherever you have some charge over anything, and that means make it pretty. Clean it up somewhat. I'm not saying it has to be perfect. Virgos will make it perfect. Okay. I'm my moon's Virgo, but like that.
My moon is Virgo too.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Wow. Oh, I am impressed. Okay.
We have
Wow.
some alignments going on here.
Yes. Do you know your ascendant?
Libra.
I'm the opposite, Aries.
Oh, okay.
Cool. But really, do something about making your environment attractive. You are a soul. You are entitled to live in beauty, whatever beauty might mean for you. You're entitled to live without clutter, and Cancerians can create clutter. I am well aware of that, being one. Yes. So do what you can so you're living in that. It literally does help clear your mind.
Yeah.
It literally helps you be more peaceful. It literally will bring more of what you'd like into your life. And a technique when you're getting rid of stuff, okay, as you're releasing something, everything that you've got in your house, even a piece of paper, has an emotional context, for there's a reason you're holding on to it. So as you're letting go of it, you're tapping into those emotions, some of which might be easy, some not so easy. And you might, I don't want this. It reminds me of that one. But as you release it, give thanks for whatever it was that had you have it in. And if it's something you're completing, really give thanks that you're completing it. Let any emotions flow through you, because they will show up. I have been through this with people who helped me when I was going through some stuff, and allow that. And then also, as you're making space, call on what you would like in your life, whatever that might be. More love, more finances, more creativity, a new home, whatever it might be. Call on it so that it may come to you more readily. You're making the space within yourself and even in your home.
Yeah, so much. Yeah, so that's so true. Even when you clean your place or make your bed and clean sheets, all that type of stuff, you have a better night's sleep that night, everything. So just being mindful on the way you feel when things are in more order. So it does make tons of sense of what what you're saying. And that also helps raise the vibration of you. So, and that's what this is, all about as well, too. We want to raise our vibration, and we can go out there in the world and share the gifts to the collective and be a part of the awakening that you spoke about at the very beginning. So yeah, I mean, so let's say someone is listening and they're like, okay, I want to see a clairvoyant, but maybe I want to see him in person. And Audrey is in Costa Rica. I want them to hear me in person. You know, which is there? Are there any tips you would give someone when looking for a clairvoyant, or maybe they may want to call it a seer or psychic or whatever they want to call it? Because with there are a lot of people, not a lot, I don't know, but there may be people out there just taking advantage of someone's vulnerability, because a lot of times when people want to see someone, they're in a state where they almost feel desperate sometimes and things like that.
Yeah.
Usually
Yeah.
if it's just what it is. Not saying, it's always like that. So a lot of times people see a desperation or just someone in need for something and take advantage of it. Are there any tips that you would give someone so they don't feel taken advantage of and then have a bad experience with a clairvoyant, a so-called clairvoyant, and then they discard them altogether?
Okay, first, let me just say I can do readings anywhere. You do
Mm-hmm.
not have to be in front of me. I do not know personally most of my clients. They
Yeah.
come from recommendations. And
Mm-hmm.
so I can do it anywhere. And I use free conference call if somebody wants Zoom so they can record it. I don't care. They can use Zoom because I'm going to be doing what I'm doing. So, but if you want someone, first see if somebody can recommend somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And do you trust the person making the recommendation?
Mm-hmm.
If you're meeting them in person, which most people don't go meeting to meeting to meeting, but if you don't get a good vibe on them, they're not for you.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't matter how many people say whatever they may say. If you're not getting a good vibe, then it's not a good match. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
if some people specialize in certain areas, look for somebody that might specialize in that area. I don't think I don't even know if you Google me what you'll see. I have no idea. Okay. But see if there's things that people may have written about that person, see what they've done,
Mm-hmm.
see what they've actually created. If
Mm-hmm.
it resonates with you, take a chance. I give my clients an opportunity to get one 15-minute reading at, I'm not going to talk money on this thing because it'll be different anyway. If you
Prices may change, and
right, all
they
that.
may be listening to this 5 years from now.
Yeah,
So
all of that. So I'm not going to get, and whatever my website says, because it does have prices. You can talk with me. I'm not negotiable, but I can negotiate any of that depending on whatever the guides tell me. Just so
mm-hmm.
you know that, okay?
Okay.
That doesn't mean you'll get everything free. That's not what it means.
Yeah.
Okay, there will be an interchange. But that's part of it. If you look at them and you get and it doesn't feel right, then it's not right for you.
Mm-hmm.
Trust your own intuition on that. If
Yes.
when there are certain voices, they don't resonate with me. If somebody has a kind of voice that, yeah, and I get it's like not for me. Okay.
Oh, so you turn
Um,
some people down?
no, not clients. No, 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 no. I don't turn.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there's only one kind of thing I turn down because years ago, I had a client who came to me and she felt she was possessed and she wanted me to remove the entity from her. And it was at a time when I was new professionally at this. And so I thought if someone comes to me, I automatically am supposed to say yes and help them. So I did with that person. That is not my work. Okay. My work is not that. I'm a healer. I bring people up. And so after I finished my work with her and I had to cleanse myself and cleanse
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
and do a whole thing. And I spoke with my teacher. She said, that's not your work. And it really was not my work. And so I told the universe, don't send me that kind of person. The universe generally will test me. And
Mm-hmm.
so they sent one or two other people, and I had then found people who do that work. So I sent them to the people who
Yeah.
like to do that work, which is not me. I
Yeah.
also don't like doing the work where you help the police catch whomever, whatever, because
Oh,
I'm an
yeah.
empath and I start feeling it.
Oh,
This is not a
yeah.
good thing for me. I did not like it. I
Yeah.
did it once for someone as a favor because of how I knew that person. That no, okay, it's
Drained
not
you.
good for me. It does
Mm-mm.
no, it's so that's just not what I do. other people are constituted differently. It doesn't mean they're better, they're worse. We're different.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
We're
kind of like
different.
chefs. It's like someone may be a chef with like Chinese cuisine, Asian cuisine, and someone may be a soul food chef. You know, they're all chefs, but it depends on what you need. So and to be mindful of that too. So thank you for bringing that up, because that's a great point, because you may just think clairvoyant, psychic, seer, or whatever you may want to call it, but what is their specialty? You are here for lifting the vibration. Someone else may be here to, you know, to be able to eat that energy up and cleanse you and do all that other stuff on
I
the
do
other
that.
end. Yeah. You know, and stuff
Not
like
that.
that. So, but yeah, just be mindful to ask questions and realize what type of work are they doing, because then this person may come to you expecting you to cleanse some nasty energy off of them, and you're like, and then at the end of the day, that's not, you're here for a different type of energy.
Well, let me say that. No, I can help clear nasty energy. I
Okay.
definitely do that. Okay,
Okay.
that's I'm not going to say it's easy, but yeah, what I don't do, and I don't want to do, which is why I don't do it, is if someone thinks they're possessed from an entity from wherever, and you have to pull it, because I have done it and I know how to do it. I don't want to do it. It's not what I enjoy doing. And I learned that I actually am meant to be able to say yes and no about what it is I choose to do. Because when I did release that thing, okay, and then I had to cleanse everything. There are people, that's what they specialize in. Can I help somebody release yucky energy? Yes. No question. Absolutely. Okay, that's part of why people do come to me. In fact, one of my, that is definitely why. The guides are telling me I should mention this. I mentioned I'm mostly raw vegan. I love chocolate. Okay, I love chocolate. So I know how to, I'm good at this. I know how to make things that's raw vegan with chocolate, and it tastes delicious. It tastes like a fudgy, yummy thing. So if anyone is thinking if you become vegan, you can't eat good food, let me tell you how wrong that is. You get to eat some of the best food, some of the healthiest food, some of the most delicious food, and food that's actually good for you. And because I'm in Costa Rica, cacao comes in like a pod thing.
Yeah.
And you know what they look like? And when
I have a video. I actually have a video on my YouTube of me opening one. But yeah, and eating the pods. Do you ferment the pods and bake them, everything? Okay.
No, I'm raw vegan. What I do is I cut the thing out, take that gooey mass out. It's like, I didn't know cacao was like gooey stuff.
Yeah, but it tastes good, but it doesn't taste like chocolate.
So I put it in my I put it in my dehydrator and keep it at a very, very, very low, so the enzymes are still alive, which is why raw vegan, because it's the enzymes that give us the energy and the nutrition. So I let them dehydrate at about 110. You can't do this in the oven. The oven doesn't go that low, for a few days, and then I make stuff.
Oh, so you do it for a few days. Okay. Okay. Because you know, when I did, I let it sit for like 2 weeks to ferment. Okay.
What did you let it ferment in? With what?
I just put it in the bowl and put a cover over it. So let the air let it ferment, like, you know, dry out.
Oh, I'll experiment with that.
You know, yeah, I think I looked on YouTube and saw some videos. But but then I put it in the oven and I took the extra shell off and stuff like that. I mean, it was kind of I didn't quite get a chocolate bar. We'll have to practice more. But it felt like too many steps for me. So maybe as a Cancer, I don't know. I wanted a little more simple. So
oh my God. So there are ways to do that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try that. I'll look it up also. I sweeten with dates. I don't use sugar. I sweeten with dates.
Dates are a great sweetener. And then so you take the chocolate, the dates, and like blend it up and nuts and put it in.
You want the recipe? Here's the recipe.
It's like three items. Okay, go ahead.
No. Okay, so I have a Vitamix. I don't know about other things. Vitamix will really mix stuff up.
And for
So
those
I
that
get,
know, a Vitamix is just a blender, but it's
yeah,
like, but it's
fast,
like the super
powerful. Yeah,
blender for the vegans.
yeah, it is. It is. So I either use the actual cacao in the pod, or I buy at the health food store where it says raw organic cacao nibs. Okay, so you get that. And it's, let's see, when I have it, I use coconut water, and I'm in Costa Rica, so you can get this. Okay, it's the real stuff right out of the coconut. So it's that, it's the cacao, it's the dates. I use a little bit of organic almond extract. And my favorite nut to use is cashews, because it'll make it creamy.
Creamy, yeah.
And then you whip all that up in the Vitamix, and so good, so absolutely yummy good. And if you don't have the coconut water, then I use a special kind of water because I'm into health and wellness. So I use some of my Kangen water, and that's how you make it. And I serve it with bananas, or with what do I put in it? Or strawberries or blueberries, some little other nuts. Oh, it is delicious. I eat it for breakfast. It's like having dessert for breakfast because it's high protein. It's made with nuts.
Yeah.
Organic raw nuts, not salted, oiled nuts, not those.
Now,
Those.
now, do you have a cookbook of one of your books that you have? Is there a cookbook out there? Okay,
I
so
have a book called Vim Vigor Vitality Vegan.
okay, is it on your website or is it on Amazon?
No, I had it on Amazon, and then Amazon threw me off. I don't know why. I don't know what I did wrong. So it's all on my website.
Okay, or maybe you
now,
can
and
put it back on there.
I am not the techie lady. When someone got, I am that, no. Okay, someone else would have to help me with that. When I went to set up a YouTube page years ago, I somehow set up 3 of them. I'm better at other things, okay?
Okay, yes.
And I'd rather do what I'm really good at, and then get better at those other things than do stuff that, let's just say, is better served by someone doing it who loves it and can do it like this. And I'm like, that, I don't need it. And
okay, so that's good to know. You also have a cookbook on raw vegan.
Yeah, Vim Vigor Vitality Vegan, and it also has some stuff that is cooked, because when I made it, I wasn't raw vegan. I was morphing into that, and people said, no, leave it all there. So I did. And the first part of the book is about health and wellness, because how am I not going to have that? And the second part is all recipes.
Oh, beautiful. So, oh, that's great to know, because, you know, I like to say here, there's not one magic blue pill to vibrating higher or to health and wellness.
No.
So it's a collective of a lot of different things, starting off with your breathing and calming your nervous system down, and then also being mindful of how we're putting the foods we're putting in our body, and so on, and so many other elements. So it's good to know that you have a couple of offerings within the space of vibrating higher. Do you have any final advice for the collective, even though you've been giving us advice from the jump start? Any final advice for the collective, you know, on anything you want to say, whatever, you know, your spirit's guiding you to say?
They're giving me the words. Number 1, you're not lost. Okay. Number 2, we are not, as a species, the earth is not going to collapse. We're not all dying. That's not what's happening. Are some people going to be? Yes, some people are. Will there be, I'll say the term, interesting times ahead? Yes. Planets are changing sign. When Pluto goes into Aquarius next year and stays there for 20 years, we're going to see a huge amount of change. Saturn is now in Pisces.
Pluto already went into Aquarius last year
for a minute, and now it's back in Capricorn.
Oh, I thought it was there for the next 15 years. Okay.
No, it'll be there for over 20 years at the end of this year, 2024.
Okay, and then we will be in the age of Aquarius. Okay.
Well, the Pluto part. And that's a whole lot of, so here's the thing. If you're feeling down and out and all that, either breathe. If you have a good friend or somebody that you know who has a more positive mindset, speak to them. Don't sit in the stuff. forever and a day. Give yourself a moment. You can just take a little, okay, but not forever and a day. You can take a day or two to just let the whole world happen and you just be with yourself. Growing older is not a death sentence. I'm in my 8th decade and I've still got plenty of energy and I've got excellent health. And no, I don't look like I looked in my 20s, but I don't need to. Okay, I did my 20s. I mean, I'd like to, but you know, that's
but not supposed. We're not supposed to. You know, just like a baby doesn't look the same when it's 10 years old from when it was a baby. We're supposed to keep evolving. But yeah.
And there's so much new stuff, including the ancients. In my personal opinion, we are not the epitome of whatever has lived on this earth. If you look at all the ancient monoliths, we don't know how to do that. Nobody on the earth right now, practically nobody, I'm saying practically in case someone does, knows how to build that. Nobody can make the pyramids. Nobody could make a Göbekli Tepe. Nobody knows how to make Easter Island. Nobody yet knows, and that was made on our planet. So there have been, let's just say, other situations occurring. So be open to learning and growing. We have talents within us that have been put on hold. And the way I get this, the guides told me this years ago, is because most humans, unfortunately, are not ready to deal with some of the gifts and abilities we have. So it was temporarily shut down. Others can give other stories. I'm not going to get into that now. And as we evolve, they're going to open up more and more and more and more. So please allow yourself to do this work. I know there's a lot of AI stuff and some people, and there's a place for it. I'm not saying there won't be, and it'll be really proliferating when Pluto does go into Aquarius. But really build your own self as naturally as possible before you put doodads and hoo-has into your system that you may not need. And allow that. And yes, we are an amazing species, and whatever complexion or background or brand of sexuality, or I don't even know what else, okay, or belief systems, at least listen to someone. If they're very narrow and hate, let them be. Go on to someone else. Because everyone's got something to contribute.
Exactly.
And it's better to have friends. And look at what it opens the world to, all the friends one can have, all the possibility. So no, I know people think, oh, the world is ending. Maybe there's some people who think that. No, certain things need to change. And if the way they're going to change is to cascade down, then that's what it is. Protect yourself, have whatever you might need in a good way, and allow yourself to keep going through the shifts, SHIFTS, that are happening. And know that you're wonderful. You deserve to have a fabulous life. Whatever yuck you may have done, there's a way to heal from it. And is there help from it? I could facilitate you, others can. And the fact that I'm in Costa Rica, I can still do it. And I do come back to the States, okay? It's not like I don't, I do. And allow that. So be blessed, and thank you all so much for participating. Can I give my website, my phone number? Can I do anything?
Yeah, I will put it all in the show notes, but you can vote, say as well too. But yeah.
Okay, so I'm from New York, and so my number is a New York number. It still is. It's 917-494-0628, and you could call me. I have a U.S. SIM card, so it'll be a local call. It will not be long distance to Costa Rica. Okay, that's why I have a U.S. SIM card. 917-494-0628. My website is Audrey Now, AudryeNow.com, and there's going to be more put in. And my email is audreynow, AudryeNow@gmail. And say that you met me and put it in the subject line so I will see it. Unique show. Okay, unique podcast. So I will see it and be sure to look at it. So
Yeah.
thank you all. Thank you so much, Unique. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, namaste. I do have one more question. I ask every
Go
guest this.
ahead.
But you have said so much in reference to it. But I'll just ask it anyway. What does becoming unique mean to you?
Oh, what does becoming unique mean to me? I think it's really learning more and more about who I am and allowing it and letting it blossom and growing with it and being amazed by it. I mean, when I had my 80th birthday, I was so, all right, I'm not going to say those words. You as a New Yorker would get it, but okay, I was so like high naturally, not on whatever. So I'm effing 80. I could not believe it. I was flying around, I was dancing, I was floating all over the place and all that. And it's my birthday is in the middle of July. And I was astounded. And it was in Florida. And so just know that all kinds of miracles. So what is becoming unique? Growing more, evolving more, sometimes just being quiet, just being quiet and being able to sit back and just be
Mm-hmm.
is amazing.
I love it. I love it. I
Thank
love
you.
that you can see that, being in your eighth decade, that you're still growing. Like I was telling you before we even started the show, like adulthood doesn't mean a final destination. You can constantly
No,
keep evolving and keep growing, no matter what age you are. We should be growing to the day that we're not here anymore, and then and that's
there's
it.
still more.
Yeah, and there's still more. There's still more. It's gonna be growing afterwards into the next lifetime if we come back again. But yay! Oh my goodness, you were so amazing. You shared
Thank
nothing
you.
but light here. Light, light,
Thank
light.
you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I so appreciate you.
Ditto, ditto, ditto.